Lions News Fan Report. Hello, sports fans. Have you ever stopped to think about what the future holds for the Detroit Lions? How are the choices made by General Manager Brad Holmes and head coach Dan Campbell shaping the team for the coming years? What's behind these decisions, and how might they impact the team in 2025 and beyond? Well, today we're going to dive deep into the moves made by the organization this offseason, focusing on the signings, re-signings, and of course, the long-term vision that's being carefully built for the Detroit Lions. Building a winning team is no simple task, and it's certainly not immediate. For many, the success of a team can be measured by the number of star signings a team makes over the years. But unlike many others, Brad Holmes follows a slightly different philosophy. For him, a winning team isn't just made of big names or marketing moves. It's about a solid foundation that focuses on consistency, culture, and teamwork. And when we look at General Manager Brad Holmes' approach to the Detroit Lions, it's clear that his focus is on creating a well-balanced roster with players who can contribute not only on the field but also off it, promoting an environment of camaraderie and commitment to winning. That's why one of the words we hear most often when Brad Holmes talks about recruiting and building a team is knowing. During the last offseason, he said in an interview that although video analysis and stats are important, the real challenge is understanding how players behave in day-to-day situations, how they react to training, working with the team, and most importantly, how they maintain their commitment in tough moments. As he himself said, "You see what you see on film, but as I told you all, that's the easy and consistent part. A guy can come out of football, okay? That's easy. But you really don't know them, and that's why you have to be very careful." By adopting this viewpoint, Brad Holmes has shown that he isn't just looking for players with individual talent. He's looking for those who truly fit the long-term philosophy of the Detroit Lions. He knows that to build a winning and sustainable team, it's essential to have players who can be relied upon not just on the field, but also in their attitude and approach to the game. And that's exactly what we're seeing with the moves made so far. Holmes is focused on strengthening the team with players who bring the necessary experience, but also a set of skills that complement the playing system that Dan Campbell is trying to implement. Take, for example, the signing of cornerback DJ Reed, who was one of the top free agents last offseason. Reed's arrival helps fill a significant gap in the Lions' defense, especially with the departure of Carlton Davis III to the New England Patriots. Reed wasn't just signed for his ability to cover receivers, but also for his consistency throughout his career. Last season, he allowed just 2 touchdowns in his coverage and maintained a completion rate of under 60%. His experience and stability are exactly the type of profile Brad Holmes is looking for, a player who provides security for the team and fits well into the culture Holmes is building in Detroit. In addition to Reed, we have defensive tackle Roy Lopez, who is also a strategic addition. Lopez stood out in his last season with 28 tackles and 18 pressures, and he was a key piece of the Houston Texans' defensive line. With his arrival, Detroit gains not just another skilled player but a crucial reinforcement for the defensive line, which faced multiple injuries last season. Holmes' objective here is clear: to increase depth and competitiveness in the most critical positions, and Lopez fits perfectly into this vision. But it's not just the external signings that showcase Holmes' strategy. Many of the moves made this offseason focus on keeping the core of the team intact, ensuring that the roster has continuity and stability. In his recent interview, Holmes mentioned that he believes last year's team was already strong enough to win a championship, if not for the injuries that affected the defense. His confidence in his current roster is evident, and that's why he's focused on retaining the players who have already proven themselves valuable to the team rather than making major changes. The names that truly reflect this strategy are Aiden Hutchinson and Kirby Joseph, 2 of the top defensive players for the Lions. Hutchinson, in particular, had an impressive season and is seen as one of the brightest prospects in Detroit's defense. Holmes isn't just looking to reinforce the team with new additions, he's also focusing on strategic contract renewals to ensure these cornerstones stay with the team. Furthermore, this long-term vision extends to players like Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jared Goff, who also received contract extensions last year, totaling an impressive $541 million in investments. Of course, Brad Holmes' work doesn't just stop at re-signing the top players. He's also paying attention to the future. Next year, the Lions will have options to extend the contracts of players like Brian Branch, Sam Laporta, Jack Campbell, and Jahmyr Gibbs. These young talents are part of the new generation that could shape the team in the years to come, and securing their continued presence with a team will be essential for long-term success. However, Holmes isn't stopping there. He's also keeping an eye on free agency moves, signing players who can bring not only skill, but also leadership and experience. Tight end Kenny Yeboah, for example, arrives as an excellent blocker and special teams player, a profile that head coach Dan Campbell highly values. Although Yeboah still has much to prove in a potential starting tight end role, his arrival provides a valuable option for the team, especially when it comes to performing essential duties in the running game and on special teams. Veteran quarterback Kyle Allen also adds an extra layer of experience to the quarterback position. While Allen may not be a guaranteed starter, he could be a major asset to Detroit's roster, helping to develop young quarterbacks and, who knows, possibly stepping up in case of need. His career has taken him through teams like Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Houston, Washington, and Carolina, accumulating a total of 4,753 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 21 interceptions. Adding Allen is a smart move, as it provides depth and security to the most important position on the team. Last but not least, the re-signings of players like Derek Barnes, Levi Onwuzurike, and Marcus Davenport are crucial to ensuring that Detroit's defensive foundation remains strong. These players were key pieces in the team's defense last year and will play an even more significant role in the 2025 season. Keeping these core players on the roster not only strengthens the team in terms of performance, but also maintains the commitment to the work culture that Dan Campbell is trying to implement. Looking at all of this, the approach of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell becomes even clearer: solid building, continuity, and depth. They know that success in football doesn't come from impulsive decisions or drastic changes, but from a careful strategy that aims to improve the team every season. The road to success may be long and filled with challenges, but with the moves made so far, the Detroit Lions are closer than ever to reaching their ultimate goal of winning a championship. So, sports fans, what do you think about the decisions made so far? Do you believe the Detroit Lions are on the right path to becoming a winning team? Leave your opinion in the comments, share this video with other Lions fans, and let's keep the discussion going about the future of the Lions. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, don't forget to follow our channel. Here on Lions News Fan Report, we bring you everything about the Detroit Lions and much more. See you in the next video, everyone.